Welcome back to Monkey Wrench Mayhem. Sometimes in diagnosis, we chase ghosts, just looking for a problem. Sometimes we get lucky. I wish I get lucky. I never do. Well, this video proves it. However, in this video, there's a lot of good, there's a large wealth of information that you might be able to find useful in the future for yourself. So, check out this video. Howdy. For today's video, I'm being a little bit quiet because I'm in someone's attic, and well, I just don't want them to hear me talking, but yeah, I'm here to look at a furnace that was installed a few years ago, and well, it doesn't want to cooperate, so instead of doing the old Terry Bradshaw and hit it with a 2x4, I'm actually going to do a couple of very scientific tests. Well, okay, so the blower's not running, and the flash code told me so. And then when I opened it up, it did have kind of a funny smell. Well, here we go. That there is the transformer for the blower motor. I'm going to remove that and give it a smell, but before I do so, I'm just going to do something very scientific here, and yep, it smells. So, but I don't know if it's actually the transformer or if it's the blower motor itself. So I'm going to actually remove the transformer and take a whiff. Like I said, very scientific. Right tool for the job. Well, right tool for the job, but this one is actually not. So I need one that bends. There's the right one. Looky. That's what we need. And there's a screw hiding in there. With that guy bent like so. Ta-da. And with it out, I can get a better scientific test here. Science. Nope. Okay, now we resort to real science. Meters, wires. There we go. So we're connected to the power that feeds the blower motor. The new fancy blower motors, ECM blower motors. We're just checking to see if we're getting power over to the motor. If we are, well, the golden rule of power to it, nothing through it. There we are. That's our problem. So I'm going to restore power to the unit, and look at that. We're getting power to the blower motor, and nothing was going to happen. Wow, that's amazing. In all of, what was that, since I left you? About a second, I've gotten the blower motor out. The whole blower assembly and everything. And I was going to do that scientific test of, sniffing, that kind of thing. But whenever you look at electronics or any kind of motors or anything like that, and you see that black mark there, well, that means a genie farted. And that's all she wrote. We're replacing this blower motor. Croissant. Well, kind of making me hungry. It's about lunchtime. Boy, I love it when I accidentally have the right tool for the job. That's so nice. And since this is not a rodent motel, we're going to put everything back in while I order the parts and come back with a new blower motor. So everything's back in there, just kind of shoved in. Doesn't harm anything. We're unplugged, I promise. Well, thanks to the wizardry of a pause button, I'm back here. It's actually 2 days later, but to you it's instant. I'm here to reinstall this blower motor, and boy, these things are expensive, and they're very heavy. Anyway, with only one camera here, I'm going to try to kind of keep you in view and everything. But we're just going to go ahead and get started here. Okay, so to begin with, got to take this big giant monstrosity of a motor here, and got to kind of put it into this housing. So we have the shaft and all that good stuff. We have to stick it down inside of that hole. We're going to make sure that it's going to fit first. Okay, that's good. Yeah, it's going to fit just fine. So the first thing that we have to do before that is we got to put on this. We got to put on the mounting bracket. So this, it has some clear soot on here from when the damage occurred, from when the genie farted. He left a little skid mark here. So it's always important, in my opinion, and I think everybody should do this as good practice, but clean that off a little, just, take some sandcloth to it or something, whatever you got to do, spit, I don't care. But just kind of get that off so that if it ever happens again, if it fails, somebody, me, or anybody else that might get up here, won't be fooled by the same symptoms. So there, we're all good and clean and all that stuff. No more soot, no more skid mark. All right, so this guy has to go in, let's see, it's got to go in this way. So I'm going to go ahead and put that onto the motor, and I'll do that off camera. Well, I said I was going to do it off camera, but wanted to show a couple of points here that, to get this guy on, sometimes they don't fit just right, so you got to give them a little persuasion. Sometimes it takes tools of persuasion, but I'm going to loosen up these. The tensioners, and then we're also going to slide it on from the shaft end, because in doing that, sometimes these electronics, they stick out a little bit farther. A little connector thingy majigger here sticks out far enough to where it's going to we don't want to damage it. So anyway, so we're persuasion here. You come on now, damn it. Yep. Slowly. Okay, well, anyway, we're going to go ahead and loosen up on this thingy here. Alright, I'm doing it with my fingers here, if you can't see that, sorry. Only got one camera. So there, got it a little bit looser. And I'm going to take it down to about halfway. I don't want to cover up these holes here because that's how it breathes and cools itself down. Also, take into consideration where you're going to mount this thing. You're going to want your connector majigger to be facing the front of the unit. Makes things a lot easier on you, when you're putting everything back in. You don't have to reach over to the back of the unit to get this thing plugged in. So I'm going to kind of take a visual with my peepers here. Let's see here. Okay, so that's going to go like so. The connector is going to go like so. Yeah, that looks about good right there. All right. So now I'm going to tighten this thing down, and I will do that part off camera. All right, so I got the motor mounted, and I do have to put the bolts in, but these motors here nowadays are so big, so long that you have to. There's going to be a little bit of trial and error here. I did what I typically do is go a little bit more than halfway on the strap that goes around the motor itself. I put it, I go about halfway, and then I go out, out this way just a tiny bit. And in doing that, hopefully we leave enough room for the blower wheel to go on without rubbing on the motor, and also to have enough to grab onto of the shaft itself. However, we also have to watch out for the top of this right here. This thing can totally get in the way, and it can actually hit the top of the unit when we're trying to install it. So that trial and error, I think I have it adjusted just fine, but we'll kind of take it as it comes, I guess. That's, how life goes. Take it as it comes. All right, so, always right tool for the job. And it's kind of fun when you accidentally have the right tool for the job. So, a little quick release right there. And we take one of these nifty bolts that came from the factory. And we're not going to put it all the way in yet, but we're going to start it. Oops, well, if it stays on, okay. Nice thing about magnetic tools. Okay, here we go. Now we're cooking with, I don't know what we're cooking with. I can smell what the rock is cooking, but I don't know what we're cooking with. Here we are. Not all the way in, because we want to have a little bit of room for wiggling it around. Okay, now we can tighten it. this guy up. Make a whole lot of noise while we're at it. You know, the homeowner's wondering what all that banging is. Now, what I'm doing with the blower wheel here is we're kind of moving it centered inside of this blower housing, because we don't want it rubbing on anything. But then we also have the set screw, and that set screw has to sit right on the flat part of the shaft. So I am going to rotate the blower wheel over to that spot right there. I'm going to feel if we're in the middle, and we're about in the middle with just a tiny bit of extra on the bottom, just in case the shaft has a little too much play from the factory. We'll see. They're never perfect at the factory. I don't know where these things are made. Okay, so everything so far is feeling good. We'll find out when we get this thing shoving inside of this unit if we're going to hit the top of the motor on the top of the unit. So, we'll see. Okay, now, we got to get this, oh boy, before we get this blower assembly in place, oh gosh, I gotta stretch my leg out. I'm starting to fall asleep there, getting a little tingles. Well, anyway, yeah, that's what happens when you're in a cramped space and you're sitting at long periods in indigenous people style. So, let's see here. Some of this stuff you can't really see, but beforehand, you know, I like to take a lot of this, a lot of the circuitry, the wires and all this good stuff. I like to zip tie everything over so that it's out of the way. And because, you know, sometimes putting these sharp pieces of metal through here, you can slice through one of those wires and cause a whole lot more damage, and that's really hard to find. Ask me how I know that? Well, I'm not going to tell you. Anyway, let's get started on this. Let's see. Oh, blood's not in the foot yet. Okay, so I got everything tightened up inside of the motor here. Everything should be good. So again, make a little noise. We're going to take this thing, lift it up like so. Now there's these nifty little tracks in here that this other track has to slide into. So, I'm going to start with kind of sitting it in the bottom one. Sitting it in the bottom one. Nope. Sitting it. Wrestling it into the bottom one. So these parts can sometimes be the hard part. See what it is, but we're going to try to maneuver around it, maybe using a couple curse words and shoving things into place. It might work, it might not. Okay, so it's not working. Yes, it helps. It would help if I had a separate set of eyes on here, but I don't. Damn it. Yep, son of a, yep, no, yes, no, yeah. No, that's not working. Okay, so that problem I was talking about, I have to actually take care of that. Gotta bend this tab down a little bit. Sometimes when you pull these things out, it kind of bends this tab up. And, well, we're going to use some tools of persuasion. And sometimes you have the right tool for the job, sometimes you don't. Sometimes the wrong tool for the job is the right tool for the job. Work in auto body shops right now that are cringing. There are people in my industry that are cringing right now. But this is what we got to do. This is what repairmen wind up having to do on some of these jobs. So here we go. I'm going to try this again. Doesn't it want to go in there? Maybe if I talk to it nice. Okay, please, will you go in there? That would be nice. See, maybe that. all I had to do. Talk nice. Don't take that as part of the lesson, because I think most of the time I've learned over history that yelling at it and throwing obscenities at it actually works a lot better. Okay. And we're caught on something else. And it's the back side of this. So again, we get out the other wrong tool for the job, but right for the day. Flathead screwdriver. Maybe that'll do it. Okay. It's just the flange on this thing that's kind of sticking out that we need to talk into going to place. Damn it. Yeah, come on. It's over. Okay. Yeah. See, this time the good old damn it and son of a bitch worked. Now, let's see here. So, before we get this thing all the way in, making this job a little easier on us, we leave it like so, because we do have to bolt some of this stuff back into place. And gotta get that zip tie that I put in there out. Alright. Yes. So I'm gonna bring this guy back over here. Nope, yep, nope. Boy, if I just had another hand. Okay, so now we take that other tool off, put that away, we take this tool, we put it on, boom, bitty boom. Ta-da. Okay, another 3 of those. And nope. Missed the mark. Okay. Oh, this is when we get to be blind. Because we're going from the bottom side, so if only we had one of those guides from Disneyland show us the back side of water. I'd like to be able to see the bottom side of this job right here. So we don't have anything, so we just kind of close our eyes and feel around for it, because it's there somewhere. One more. Now, with that done, take our connectors to the motor, and we're going to, well, again, feel around until we find it, you know. We have those and the ground to do, then we shove this thing back in, put the 2 screws that hold it in, and wow, that was one kind of nice thing that good old York, you know, by the way, what we're dealing with here is a genus Yorcus hetus. They actually made things easier in these newer units, where it only takes 2 screws to take this whole thing out. Really nice. So anyway, I'm going to get in a very uncomfortable position to be able to see those connectors. Hey, what are you looking at? Okay. I'm going to get this one on the bottom and that one on the top. And there. So we flip that over. And voila. Wow. I get worried when things go a little too easy. That means, something's bound to not work correctly here. But, that's just the little pessimist in me. Okay. We are grounded, we are plugged, we are everything. Now, shove it in just a little bit further. At the same time, I'm going to find out what this wire is here. That's our wire that goes to heat. I unplugged that last time so I could get things to work, because I didn't want to go down and mess with the thermostat, so I unplugged it so the thermostat wouldn't tell it to heat, and I was testing the blower motor, so I have to plug that guy back in. And again, getting out the right tool for the job this time. Let's see. Exactly. Let's see. I can't see. I'm getting older, and my eyes are just not working the same as they used to. And I'll need that flashlight back there. Yeah, I'm looking for it over here. And it was sitting right in front of me. Wouldn't you know? Okay, there is. Okay, this one, that one, there. Okay, and where is that guy? That's that. Oh, look at that. Okay. Okay, yeah, off camera. I had a few crosswords for this wiring and everything because it's kind of spaghettied up here, and I wasn't in the mood for Italian food, so I had a few crosswords with it, and we got everything straightened out. Straightened out like uncooked spaghetti. Yeah, whatever. That wasn't funny. Well, I'm not a comedian. So anyway, now all we have to do is shove this sucker in, and I know I say that, and let's see if it works smooth. Ooh, it did. That's interesting. Okay, so the holes are lining up so far. Okay, so we're going to get our old trusty little bendy tool here and connect it to our derail. There we go. Do like that, and locked and loaded. Okay. Screw on here. A little light. Look at that. It actually went in first try. My goodness. This is making me look like a pro for some reason. Well, now we have to find the other hole. Okay, alright, somewhere in there. Fucker, let's go. Okay. I think that's it, but it's not in the right place. Okay. Well, let's see, where is it? Okay, take two. Yep, okay, take three coming up. I'm going to loosen this one, and then I'll put that guy there. Leuchten Deut. Is that part of it. Wow. Almost done. Geesh. Incredible. Okay, so we're all in place, as you can not see probably from there. Everything looked good. So I'm going to start shoving some of these wires back and, telling who's boss. Let's see, we're going to put you... Yeah, we have to pull this little weather stripping out. Okay, and then we slide this into that little doohickey. But oh yeah, you probably can't see that. Darn, that sucks. Yeah, here we go. And then we just cover it back up. Now that little part of the harness is being held in correctly. I'll grab some of my stuff back here, which I will probably leave something. As we all know in these industries, you come up into places like this, you find stuff from other people, and we kind of have a trade system that we have. You know, we leave something, we take something, and it's just kind of how it goes. I don't know how many tools I've bought over the years and just left them in places. And well, you know, when you buy them from places like Harbor Freight, you don't care about going back to pick them up. You just go buy another one. Sometimes when you buy them, you just buy 3 or 4. You know, just to plan ahead. Okay, so there we are with that. Now, I have somewhere in my little repertoire, okay, yeah, inside my toolbox here, I have another one of these things. And God, I love this one. This is a right tool for the job. A little sliver of wood that I found somewhere. On this particular flavor of York, their door switch is a little button right here. And they're kind of annoying because we can't use some of our usual methods of keeping that door switch in. So this little piece of wood fits perfectly in here. Just kind of shove it in there, push that button in, shove it in, and boom. That will keep power on. I am still unplugged, of course. I try to be at least halfway safe. I only shock myself sometimes. And because I have removed the thermostat, I'm going to do the job of it with a little alligator clip. I just want to test out the blower motor. So I'm going to connect my G, connect Warren G to Mr. Red here. Why got to be Mr. Pink? Okay, so anyway, not the time for that movie. Okay. I think I'm going to pull this out just for now. I just showed you how that worked. I am going to go ahead and plug her in. Give her the power. Okay. Alright. Yeah. I'm going to put that plug way the heck up there. Kind of odd, but okay, so now, I guess even without this little nifty tool here, if I push that in and just hold it, I'll be able to see if the blower motor goes, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3. So it's going to go through its process, and you're going to hear click, 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 click. OMG. It's working. You hear that? That's the sound of a blower motor on, well, low speed. Because it's on the G circuit. I'm happy. I am going to put all my nifty little tools away, especially this little piece of wood. That was hard to find one that actually fit. But sometimes you get lucky. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take all my stuff out of here. I am going to snap this all together, and I think we're done for this job. All right. Ciao for now.